Hi, it's Gab, back with another review from the Toronto International Film Festival. This time I saw the preview of a movie called Conviction. It's based on a true story, true crime story, starring Hilary Swank as a woman who does what it takes to get her brother, played by Sam Rockwell, exonerated for a crime he did not commit. In the early 80s, her brother is convicted of first-degree murder of a woman in their small town and is sent to prison for life. His sister loyally believes that he is innocent. They come from a rough upbringing, and it's shown in flashbacks that they've developed a very strong bond towards each other, and so the sister just will not believe her brother, who is portrayed as a bit of a lowlife, but not all lowlives are murderers, and she would not believe that her brother did this. And the legal system, of course, fails to help him out, get him out of the situation, and so she takes it upon herself to take on the legal system. One small detail is that she's not a lawyer. No, not only is she not a lawyer, she never even graduated high school. So what this woman who becomes a wife and the mother of two children during this story, what she takes on is to get her high school diploma, presumably go to college, go to law school, and become a lawyer so that she can be her brother's lawyer and clear him of the supposedly unjust charge. Now, this takes place over 18 years, I think it is. So the movie spans that time, and this is not done in an interesting way. It's hard to cover 18 years in an exciting way, and during which time this woman is basically a student going to school, which is also not the most exciting thing to witness. So time passes fairly rapidly, seemingly. There aren't a lot of, 3 years later, 5 years later that comes up on the screen, so you sort of lose a bit of touch of where you are in the timeline. Hilary Swank's look evolves a little bit in terms of the fashion she's wearing at any given time, but not that much that it's extremely evident how much time is passing, maybe mostly through her eventually obviously getting a divorce and her children aging is how you see time progressing. And then you see that she gets her law degree, etc., etc. So it sort of glosses over all of that, which, I mean, on the one hand, it's kind of not that cinematically interesting stuff, but on the other hand, it's like, oh, overnight she gets her law degree. That seemed a little bit of a stretch. I mean, it is based on a true story, so kudos to the real woman who did this, but it doesn't make for that exciting storytelling. And the crime side of the story, it's not really told very clearly. We don't know if we really should believe if he did it or not, and that ambiguity is fine, but we don't get enough even details of the crime to try to make our own judgments of if we think that her brother is guilty or not. And the main the crux of her fight is that during this time, DNA evidence comes into play in the legal system. When he was put away, they had DNA evidence, but they didn't have the means that we're all familiar with, like CSI and all of that. They didn't have the means to really use DNA evidence for or against someone's conviction. So when she becomes a lawyer, this was a new thing to use DNA evidence to either prove guilt or exonerate. So she needs to find the evidence, which is sort of missing because a lot of time has passed, but that's not really that interesting either. I mean, is she going to find it or not? I guess there's a little bit of drama there. And then is it going to work to get her brother out of prison, which by this point, the brother, Sam Rockwell, he goes through phases of chomping at the bit to get out, to resignation, and all those understandable emotions in between, resignation to his situation. And she visits him a lot, etc., etc., etc. So if this is not sounding very interesting to you, that's what I have to say about the film. It was not that interesting. I did not feel emotionally or even plot-wise compelled by this story. Hilary Swank did her usual thing, sort of struggling underdog, good girl kind of role, nothing special. Sam Rockwell, I really like him, and he did a good job, but you've seen similar performances from him before as well. So this, to me, has nothing to recommend it. It was like a movie of the week, a Hallmark movie of the week. It has no greater weight or quality than that. So in terms of when it comes out in theaters, I can't say that I would recommend you running to the theater to see Conviction. That's my latest review from the Toronto International Film Festival. Stay tuned for more.